Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. What is new with you guys? I actually recently, don't look at my nails, wow, they're terrible. I got engaged last month, April 8th. It was our dating anniversary of 5 years. My fiance's name is Carlos. I have yet to have him in a YouTube video, but he's on my other social media, Snapchat, Instagram, and all of that. But I'm thinking that in the near future, I would like to have him do my makeup. Or if you guys have any other ideas, let me know. I just woke up, so I'm like, woo. So today's video is about new products from the brand PUR Minerals. Now, I'm going to be honest, the reason I'm doing this video is because I've recently been impressed by some of their newer products. PUR Minerals used to be a brand that I was not a huge fan of, to be honest. I had tried things here and there, and I never really liked anything from them. But they've been coming out with some new things, and I've been kind of playing with them in store, and then I would purchase a few, and I really like some of the new things I've tried. They've got a few weird things out too, which I'm also going to try in this video. So half things in this video I have tried, and there's a few products that I have not tried, and we'll give you guys my first impression on them. Okay, so first kind of weird-ish product are the Pillow Blend Collection Silicone Applicators. I'm going to take them out of the box so you guys can see them. I am not really a huge fan of silicone applicators to begin with, but I can't even open this. 1 second. Okay, so this is definitely one of their launches that I'm a little bit iffy about. I don't know if you guys can see. They look like a fingerprint. They kind of creep me out a little bit. But they're very soft. They're that squishy kind of silicone applicator. There's a really small one, I would assume, for maybe concealer. These two are nearly the same size almost. I'm not really sure what I would use these for. And then a big one for maybe primer, which is what I'm going to use it for today, foundation, and I don't really know if I'll use it in those ways, but I could see this as a nice way to maybe apply like a face mask or something. Sometimes people use those fancy brushes to apply a face mask, so maybe you could use that for this. Use this for that, I mean. Okay, so a product that I have been using from them and have actually been really liking, I think my light is too bright. 1 sec. So a product that I've been using and actually really liking from them is the PUR 4-in-1 Correcting Primer. It says energize and rescue with aloe, coconut water, and probiotics, silicone free. So it kind of reminds me of the Too Faced RX Hangover Primer. It, in the sense that with the coconut water, it's energizing, it's kind of supposed to wake up your skin, and it's silicone free. All of those are like the Too Faced RX Hangover Primer, which I do really like. I actually, I'm going to be honest, I like this one better. It is that like lotiony texture like the RX Hangover Primer. However, I actually feel like it has slightly more of a smoothing factor to it, whereas the RX Hangover, it's just really moisturizing, which is nice, but I don't find that it gives me really a smoother base at all, and I actually feel like this one does. Now, I've been just applying this with my fingertips, but I'm going to try one of those silicone applicators and see how it feels. So you definitely feel the texture from those little fingertip like grooves. I don't know if it's to kind of help it blend in better. I think it's actually taking longer to blend in, to be honest with this. A little bit's definitely going a long way, I will say. but I feel like I'm having to really work it in, or it's just sitting on the surface of my skin. It definitely worked. I mean, it is completely, like, rubbed in. It's not sitting on the surface of my skin anymore, but like I said, it did take, I feel like, a little bit longer than when I just used my fingers, but it worked. I wouldn't necessarily use it again in that way, but it worked. So if you're a fan of silicone applicators, it does work, but I'm just not really a fan of them. But anyway, I do really like that primer. My face feels ready to have some makeup put on it. It feels moisturized. It doesn't feel greasy. I don't feel like it made my pores bigger or anything like that. I actually feel like it helps smooth them out. And the next product I'm going to go in with is their new 4-in-1, what is it called? It doesn't say what it's called on the actual foundation, so let me see if I can find the box, or I'll just look it up. Okay, I found the box for it. So it is the 4-in-1 Foundation Stick Cream to Velvet Matte Foundation. Apply across forehead, cheeks, nose, and chin. Blend with a contour blending sponge or a foundation brush. I personally would do the brush. I find that this is like a really stiff formula. Not that I mind that, but I just don't see it really blending out well with a sponge. 4-in-1, medium to full coverage, can be used as highlighter or cream contour. Age-defying Keratin Complex, yay. Energy Complex to help color correct and brighten the appearance of uneven skin tone. Helps to retain hydration and reduce the look of pores, which I do agree with. This actually gives me a really smooth finish, which is why I think I like it so much. I'm going to be honest, I usually hate stick foundations, but I actually really, really like this one. I think it does give medium to full coverage like it says. It is a matte finish. I don't get oily with it. I think it is very smooth looking. However, if you're super duper dry, I could see you maybe not liking this. Not that it is over drying, but it is definitely a matte finish, and you can tell when you're putting it on that it is a drier formula. Again, like I said, that is why I'm going to blend it out with a brush. I have mine in the shade medium, which is just a tad dark right now, but we're going into summer, so hopefully I get some color. I am blending this out with a Morphe Y7. And you can hear my cat screaming and scratching at the door. Okay, as you can see here, it is really covering up a lot of my redness and giving just a really even look. Chat! Okay, so here is just with one side done, and you can obviously tell a big difference. I'm going to go ahead and do the other side. My cat is literally demanding to get in here. Okay, I think it's just my Mac, but I look really freaking white, but I'm not in person, so hopefully it's just my computer. I'm actually thinking about investing in a camera soon so that you guys can see things better and colors better, lighting's better, all that jazz. So, yes. The next product that I'm going to be using is their new translucent setting powder. It comes with, this is how the packaging comes. It has like this sponge top. However, I'm going to use a brush just to set my whole face. So the powder, the foundation, and the primer I have used all before. Those three I really, really do like. I would say the primer and foundation stick are probably my favorites of the new stuff I've tried. I really like the powder as well. It almost has a slight glow to it. Chip! I like the, oh shit. I do like the powder as well. I think it has like a slight glow to it. It's not shimmery by any means, but it does have a slight luminosity to it in my opinion. It's not overly matte or anything like that. So I really do like that too. But I wouldn't say it's better than my Laura Mercier or better than my Cover FX or better than my Too Faced Ethereal powder. I really like all those pretty equally, but I would say this is right up there with them. I just wouldn't say it's like my new absolute favorite, but it's really good and worth a try if you are in the market for a new translucent powder. This is Chip. He is the one that is causing all of the ruckus in the background. He just really apparently wants to be part of this video. Usually in my videos, if you see me say like, oh, my cat's messing with this, or oh, my cat just did that in the background, it's him. He's a troublemaker. I don't know what his deal is. He just doesn't like to be locked out of the room, apparently. Okay, so this next powder, it is the Shake and Bake Powder to Cream Under Eye Concealer. Now, like the Silicone Applicators, this is the other one that I am iffy about. This is one I have not tried yet, so this will be a first impression. I'm just really confused as to how this could possibly work, but I'm going to give it a shot. Okay. Alright, so Chip was just banned to the basement, but it says, conceal and set in one step. This miraculous concealer melts into the skin to mask imperfections and sets to a smooth, long-lasting, crease-free finish. We're going to try it. I don't know about this, though. I played with this in store and I was a little iffy. I was a lot iffy, actually. Not even a little. I'm not going to lie. Okay. So, it's so tiny. I guess you're supposed to sprinkle it on the little sponge it gives you and put it on the under eye, which is what I'm going to do. I'm going to listen to the directions. But I just kind of want to show you guys. So it's like a little loose powder. And then, I don't know if you guys can see, but it literally just blends into a cream. I don't know how much coverage it's going to have, but we'll see. So, they say to put a little bit on the sponge. Okay, so it technically worked. It went from a powder to a cream and feels like I wouldn't necessarily have to set it, but it really didn't give much coverage. So the idea is there, however, in my opinion, that is not enough coverage for my eyes. I'm going to try it with my fingertips, see if I can just build it up. The sponge is a little awkward. it gave a little bit more, but still not really what I'm needing. Okay, so the Shake and Bake Concealer, that was a fail for me. Just didn't really give me any coverage. Yes, it did go from a powder to a cream, so that part technically worked. However, you can't really even tell the difference between this eye and this eye. And I even went into some other lighting in my other rooms, and you can't tell at all. And for the sake of saving my makeup and my face today, I am going to go ahead and put some Shape Tape on because I have to go to work after this. Before I go in with my damp Real Technique sponge, I will give one of these a shot for my concealer. Okay, so obviously, like I said earlier, this does make the product go a really long way. So it's making this seem like it's really a lot of concealer. And yeah, no, it's still just not, it's not blending out my concealer like I need it to. Kind of got lost in what I was doing and am not explaining to you guys now. I am taking the translucent powder and setting my Shape Tape concealer. Okay, now that we are all set and concealed and my base is done, I am going to go add some blush bronzer. I'm going to do my brows and put on a lip because I don't have that stuff from PUR, and I will be right back. Okay, so I'm back and I put some blush, bronzer, highlighter, lip, and brows on, and I am ready to show you guys, last but not least, is, what is this called? Their Visionary palette. So this is again by PUR Minerals, and this is their palette called Visionary. Now, like a lot of their things in the past, I did not think that their eyeshadow was the best quality ever, but these are actually really, really nice and really, really pigmented, and I was very surprised. The eyeshadow palette is what prompted me to try a few other things, because like I said, didn't think that their quality was all that great, and this palette came out, and I'm kind of like, And I shouldn't even say that the quality wasn't great, but the products that I had used just never worked out for me personally. So yeah, I just wasn't a huge fan of their products before. So this kind of gives you some modern Renaissance vibes in a way, but you've got these top four are probably the most shimmery in the palette. Then you've got some kind of satin shades. And you know, I'm not 100% sure, but it doesn't really look like any of these are 100% matte. Maybe the shades Tycoon and Idealist are probably the most matte, but most of them either have quite a bit of shimmer or at least a satin finish. I'm going to go ahead and swatch just a couple shades. This is the shade Leader, which you can see has quite a bit of pigment to it. I was impressed. Like, that is so good. Alright, I'm going to do the shade, we'll do Girlboss. It's like a pinky shimmer. Put that right next to it. Very, very blinding. I almost could have used that as a highlight. Maybe I'll try it. And we'll swatch Tycoon because that looks probably like the most matte. Kind of has a satin finish, but definitely the most matte in the palette. Very, very pigmented, very, very smooth, easy to blend out, and they look really good on the eye. So this is what I'm going to do next. I'm going to do a real simple look. I'm not doing lashes or anything today. Actually kind of got to hurry. I'm going to be late for work. So I'm going to go ahead and do this for you guys, and I think this is the last product. They do have a little tiny paddle brush out, which I do have. I unfortunately didn't really use in this video. So this is their smaller paddle brush. They do have a larger one for foundation. This one is probably for concealer, maybe cream contouring. I'm going to be honest, I didn't really have a use for this in this video. It's real soft, very dense, seems decent quality, so might be worth trying. But yeah, again, I just didn't really have a use for it, so I did not show you guys this. My bad. Alright, so on to the eyeshadow palette. This is what made me really feel like PUR Minerals is stepping up their game. I'm going to go in and just do a simple eye look for you guys, and yeah. Okay, so first I'm going to take a Morphe Y16, and I'm going to take the shade Idealist, which is more of a satin, not super shimmery, and use that in the crease as my transition. Next, I'm going to take the shade Tycoon, which is that nice, pretty matte brown. There's a tiny, like, kick back, kick up, whichever, I've heard both terms, in the pan. Nothing crazy. I always tap off my brush anyway, because I like to do my foundation first, which I know is probably not the smartest, but I like to do my foundation and all that first, and then do my eyes. So I always tap off my brush to make sure I don't get fallout on my face. Then I'm going to take some of the shade Role Model, which is more of a purpley brown. By the way, guys, yes, I did use the same brush for the last 3 shades. Each shade I'm just kind of taking lower and lower. So that first one, Idealist, I took pretty up high. And then Tycoon, I took a little bit lower. And then Role Model, I took even lower than that. So as I build up color, I am starting lower each time. And then kind of blending out once there's not much left on my brush. I'm still just building up that purple shade, which I forgot already what it's called, Role Model. And on a Morphe M507, I'm going to take Role Model and a little bit of Tycoon and just do a little bit on the lash line. If you've watched my videos before, you'll know that I'm not a huge lower lash line eyeliner, eyeshadow person. I just don't like the way it looks on me when it's really heavy. I can deal with just like a little bit like that, but much more, I personally think it makes my eyes look really small. If you guys have any tips on that, because I like how finished and like how fierce it looks, but I always think it makes my eyes look really small. So if you guys have any tips, I would love to know, because I love the way it looks on other people, but I'm always like, my eyes look tiny now. So this is where we're at, just with using some of those matte and satin shades. And then I'm going to take a shimmery shade using my Mikasa Beauty E230, which I actually have a affiliate code with them if you guys want to use it. It's always in the description if you're ever wanting to try some of their brushes. They are really nice. They do have more of those natural hair type brushes, I will say. They don't have very many synthetic brushes, so it just kind of depends what you like, but if you like those natural hair brushes, they're really good. I am going to take the shade Innovator, which is a shimmery gold shade. This is my go-to brush when it comes to packing on color on the lid. I will say too, this actually has a really decent mirror on it. So I'm actually going to use that. I'm going to go back in with my Y16, yes, 16. Go back in with a little bit of Role Model and just kind of clean up the crease a little bit where the shimmer meets the crease. Okay, so this is where we are at with the eyeshadow. Like I said, it's just a really simple look, but their shadows blend out really easy. At least their new formula or whatever they have going on in that palette blends out really, really nice, really, really easy. So the palette was a huge win for me. So is the foundation stick and the primer and the setting powder. I would say really the only two products that are new for them that I'm like, try at your own risk, is the Shake and Bake Concealer and the Silicone Applicators. I am going to go put on some liner and mascara, and I will be right back and kind of give you just my final overview. Okay, so for an overview, the Pillow Blend Collection, which retails for $39, not really worth it for me, in my opinion. If you really like silicone applicators, maybe go for it. For me, it's kind of a mess. Yeah, wasn't a huge fan, but I could see myself using the larger one for maybe like applying like a face mask, like while I'm in the tub or something. That's really the only use I think I'll get out of them. The primer, now this was a hit for me. I loved this. Again, this is the 4-in-1 Correcting Primer, Energize and Rescue, Aloe, Coconut Water, and Probiotics. I think it's hydrating. I think it's smoothing. I do think it helps hold your makeup on. I'm trying to find the price for you. Why am I so out of breath? Where is it? Okay, so weird. On Ulta's website, which is what I'm looking on, it is called the Energize and Nourish Primer, but when I zoom in on the picture, it's this, and it says Energize and Rescue. So I'm not really sure what that's about. This is $33. I do think it is worth it. I do really like it, and I actually think I'm going to keep using that quite a bit. That is like my new go-to primer. The foundation stick, the 4-in-1 foundation stick. Oh, I need to exit out of my emails. Jeez, oh Pete's. Sign out. Quit mail. Go away. Okay. 4-in-1 foundation stick. Again, this was a hit for me. It is medium to full coverage. It is matte. It is smoothing. I really, really, really like this. I do think this is a hit and worth the money. And how much is it? It is. Okay, so this foundation stick is $34. This was a yes for me. So no, yes, yes. And then the next one is a no for me. Shake and Bake Concealer. Just was not enough coverage for me. Yes, it did go from a powder to a cream, but yeah, it just did not have enough coverage for moi. In case you were wondering and you want to try it for yourself, the Shake and Bake Concealer is $26 if that is something you are wanting to try for yourself. Another hit for me is the PUR Translucent Loose Setting Powder. This, I do think it's really good. If you are in the market for a new loose powder, I definitely think that this one is worth a try. This one is $30. And I don't really think I gave the description of this, but they say it is a translucent setting powder, a microfine setting powder that helps prevent your makeup from caking and creasing. I do agree with that. It says it applies easily with the built-in sponge. That I kind of disagree with. I'm not a huge fan of the sponge that it comes with, but I do think it helps reduce the fine lines and pores and all that jazz. They say on the website that it is a matte finish, which it is, but I don't Unless I had something on my hand when I swatched it, I thought it had a little bit of a glow to it, but maybe that's just me. And of course, the PUR Visionary palette is a win and a hit and worth the money in my opinion. This retails for $32. Again, you do get a nice mirror, nice size pans. I showed you guys the pigment. Really, really nice palette. And again, this is what made me want to try some of their other products because I thought they really stepped their game up with this. In my opinion, I think they stepped up really the whole line, except for a few misses here and there, like the Shake and Bake and the Silicone Applicators. But I think everything else that I mentioned in the video is really, really good. Decent price, great quality, and if you are wanting to give PUR another shot, if they weren't maybe your favorite before, I think it's worth it. I think sometimes we like write off an entire brand just because of a few products maybe we've tried before, which I kind of did with this brand, but I'm really glad I gave these products another shot because I really do like a lot of them. So if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please don't forget to subscribe. If you have tuned in before and you keep tuning in, thank you so much for watching. My hair is really flat today. I slept with it in a braid last night thinking it would give me nice beachy waves, which kind of did down here, but anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe. Thanks for tuning in continuously if you do, and you can subscribe by clicking on my face in the little bubble. I always put my little face in a bubble in a picture on one of the sides, and you can click on it there to subscribe, or in the description like everybody else has. And that's really it. I will see you guys in my next video.